Yo, I did this nigga talking about he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother. That's the one who got the receipts. You need more proof? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts. And I sign it. Because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that.
You know, I did one album with Mase. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album, and then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people. And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name? Mase owes me $3 million. That's facts. I got the receipt. And I'm not gonna go back and forth with Mase. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I'm just gonna, if I'm here, I'm gonna speak up for myself. I'm gonna speak up for myself now. You know what I'm saying?
For years, people thought they knew the story. Mase, the Harlem rapper who rose to fame under Diddy's Bad Boy records, had simply walked away from it all. But now, Mase is finally pulling back the curtain. And the truth he's revealing is darker and deeper than anyone imagined. The man who once called Diddy his brother says their fallout wasn't about fame or jealousy. It was about betrayal, manipulation, and straight-up spiritual warfare. See, Mase wasn't just another bad boy artist. He was the reason the label stayed alive after Biggie's death. When Biggie passed, the entire world looked at Diddy and asked, what's next? And who did he put in front of the camera? Mase, the smooth-talking, clean-cut rapper who could charm both the streets and the suburbs at the same time. Songs like Feels So Good and What You Want made him the face of late 90s hip-hop clamor. But behind the flashy suits and million-dollar smiles, Mase says something much darker was happening. He was being used. In recent interviews and on his show, It Is What It Is, Mase explained that Diddy had him locked in a classic slave-style contract, no ownership of his publishing, no real control over his masters, and no freedom to move without Diddy's approval. I wrote the hits. I carried the label, and I got crumbs, he said. Every time I tried to talk business, it turned into ego, according to Mase. Diddy built his empire on the backs of artists like him promising family, but delivering business deals that benefited only one side, Diddy's.
My man Mase on the phone. What's up, baby?
I'm chilling, Flex. I feel mad good.
I gotta let a fax today from Magic Johnson Music. It says Mase is retiring from the rap game.
I gotta do what make me happy. You know, a lot of people gonna say I'm crazy, I'm leaving money behind and a lot of things. But it's just, you know, how I feel in my heart. Once God puts something in your heart, you know, God talk to everybody different.
So you saying you don't want to make any more albums?
I don't want to make no records. I don't want to rap on no records, and I don't want to run no record companies.
I don't think people want that, Mase. You might be outvoted. What you gonna do?
If I'm outvoted, then I'm just outvoted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as though, like, you know, like the late, great Tupac and people like Biggie, they got the same messages. They just didn't act on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it in that realm, it's like, whoa.
I appreciate you calling, Big Daddy.
You mind?
I appreciate you making a call.
It gets even heavier. Mase claimed that Diddy's so-called love movement was nothing more than a disguise for manipulation. That man told me God was guiding him, Mase said. But all I saw was greed. Fans were stunned, especially since Diddy has been riding his brother love rebel and for years acting spiritual, preaching positivity while Mase is the one who actually became a pastor. It's almost poetic, the preacher calling out the fake prophet. And here's where things really twist. Mase revealed that he tried to fix things the right way. He offered Diddy $1 million to buy back his publishing the same rights. Diddy had held on to for decades, but Diddy refused, allegedly telling him, your offer isn't fair. That broke Mase completely. How do you call yourself my brother and block me from owning my own music? He said. That single quote ignited the internet because deep down, people always suspected Diddy wasn't as generous as he appeared, and Mase just confirmed it. What once looked like brotherhood now sounded like a cold business trap wrapped in family language. And for the first time, Mase wasn't just talking about contracts anymore. He was talking about conscience.
Did you make the right decision leaving rap?
I did. Everything now that we see playing out was all the things I escaped. The car, the shine, the loon, Puff Daddy, Craig Mack,
Biggie Smalls.
the Biggie Smalls. So even though I made those decisions and it cost me money, that's why I got with Killer and they gave me the money back.
After that revelation, fans started digging through the history, and what they found backed Mase up in a big way. The signs were always there. We just weren't paying attention. Back in the late 90s, Mase was everywhere. Platinum records, magazine covers, world tours. But in 1999, at the height of his fame, he suddenly disappeared. No goodbye, no farewell album, just gone at the time. Diddy told the media that Mase found God and retired. But according to Mase, that's not the full story. He said he left because the label life was poison and Diddy's business moves were draining his soul. I saw too much. Man, Mase said, I saw what fame did to the people around me. I saw how much control that man had over everyone's lives. And I knew if I stayed, I'd lose myself completely. That's why he walked away and became a pastor. He wasn't running from success, he was escaping a system. He described Bad Boy as a beautiful prison, where everything looked perfect from the outside but was chaos behind the scenes. And when you look back, it lines up with what other former Bad Boy artists have said. Artists like The Lox, Faith Evans, and even Mark Curry have all hinted that Diddy's deals were one-sided. The Lox even had to publicly threaten to release us from the label, or we'll get released from life, just to gain their freedom. So, when Mase says Diddy was controlling everything, it doesn't sound crazy at all.
If the devil can use him aggressively, then I want you to know God could use me aggressively. I went through every step on how to deal with him. Every step on how to deal with Puff biblically. I dealt with him biblically. That's why I felt aggressive about it. I felt like I did not have to change my strong approach because number one, I went to him as a brother when things were not right. Secondly, I went to him with a witness. That was Rodney Jerkins. Like the Bible says, if you don't get it right with him, go back to him with a witness. I did that. The third thing it tells us to do is go to the church. Bring it before the elders. I reached out to his bishop. His bishop declined to mediate the situation. So I just went to step number 4, which is mark him as a publican and have nothing to do with him. And that's what I did lyrically. And that's what you guys have a problem with. So I don't know if it's me or you got a problem with the Bible, because all I did was handle it the way you're supposed to handle it. And I'm up for all the smoke he has to bring. Puff can't beat me at anything. Anything. And he knows that. And I'm up for the challenge. And until I see you again, just know I may do a lot of things you don't agree with. Pray for me like I would pray for you, instead of letting your voice be used against something that could be a phenomenal change for our culture. We don't need no more leaders like that. We need new gatekeepers. If there's ever been a company, just think of this, that handled those people that way for 20 straight years, you wouldn't keep them in leadership. So why should we keep these same gatekeepers who have done nothing but exploited us and used our talents against us for their own gain and their children?
Fast forward to the 2010s, Mase tried to come back. He wanted to reclaim his music, rebuild his legacy, and finally get what he was owed. But Diddy still wasn't budging. Instead, he publicly preached about artist empowerment while quietly keeping those old contracts locked away. That's when Mase snapped. He took to Instagram and wrote an open letter that shook the entire industry. You keep screaming black excellence, he wrote, but you're blocking your own brothers. You can't be for the people and still own their souls. Fans were stunned because Mase had receipts. He reminded everyone that he made Diddy millions during the golden era, only to walk away broke. He even revealed that when he asked Diddy to release his publishing for free as a spiritual gesture, Diddy told him, if you can match what a white man would pay, I'll give it back. That line hit a nerve worldwide. It showed exactly how Diddy valued money over morality. From that moment on, Mase stopped staying quiet. He started using his platform to expose the hypocrisy in the music industry, not just Diddy's, but the entire system. He said the industry trains artists to worship power instead of God. And Diddy was the perfect example. At that point, it wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about redemption.
And Puff was like, I felt like I did more than I got credit for, more than I got paid for.
You felt, or did you do that? Because you said felt. Like
okay,
feeling,
let's clear that up then.
You saying you feeling that?
No, we're gonna keep it with, because I'm trying to be nice. I never got paid what I was worth.
and I never got the respect I was worth. So the disdain that I got for Puff is more like, you trying to keep me here. I'm not here. All my peers is up here. All my peers are bosses. When it's time, just like somebody raised somebody up, you know they did work with you, they go from your little man to maybe A&R to something else. He just kept trying to keep me right here, like he didn't want me to grow at anything.
Once Mase started talking again, things got really uncomfortable for Diddy. The same man who made Can't Nobody Hold Me Down was now being accused of holding everyone else down, and Mase wasn't afraid to push harder. On his show, It Is What It Is, he began blending jokes with real talk, calling Diddy out for his fake love image and his long history of shady artist dealings. In one episode, he said, "Some people hide behind charity, but the real blessing is setting people free. If you're keeping people in debt, that ain't love. That's business." That line went viral instantly. Fans flooded Diddy's old interviews with clown emojis, calling him brother control instead of brother love. Even other artists began speaking up indirectly, posting quotes about ownership and freedom that felt like subtle shots at Diddy. The walls were closing in. Mase also addressed one of the biggest rumors that he was jealous of Diddy's success. He shut that down immediately. Jealous? I was there when he had nothing. I celebrated when he made it. I just didn't think he'd step on me to stay there. That hit deep. Because it proved this wasn't just business beef. This was betrayal between two men who once moved like brothers.
The door, and he grabbed my arm. He said, "Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. We gotta pray." And I knocked his hands off of me. I said, "Pray for what?" That nigga's dead, bro. He just was stunned. He just, like, he had this look in his eye like he couldn't believe it that he was dead. He couldn't believe it.
Do you think that he had any involvement in Big Stacks?
And here's the wild part. Mase said he believes Diddy was never going to let him own his publishing, no matter what he offered. According to him, it was never about money. It was about control. If I own my music, he loses his leverage, Mase explained. That's why he believes Diddy keeps so many of those old contracts locked up not for profit, but for power. And the pattern fits. Countless Bad Boy alumni have shared similar stories as artists who went platinum but never saw a dime. Fans began calling it the Bad Boy curse. Everyone who blew up under Diddy eventually either vanished, went broke, or turned against him. Now that Mase is finally telling the story from the inside, people are connecting the dots. He wanted to be the boss so bad he forgot how to be a brother, Mase said. What's crazy is that Diddy has never really denied any of it. Whenever he's asked about Mase, he ducks the question or laughs it off, but his silence speaks volumes. Even in recent interviews where he talks about forgiving old friends, it sounds like he's talking in circles. Fans see it for what it is, damage control. Mase, on the other hand, is standing tall. He says he's not bitter, he's better. When you walk with truth, you don't need revenge. God handles that part. That's a mature statement. But make no mistake, the shots are still landing.
Cain killed Abel, I'm able to kill Cain. And love don't steal, my nigga, change your name. Come on. Be selling their soul to go to a brunch. These might end up sweet. Drinking that punch, I suffer good. And it's known from another hood. Forget a brotherhood, I'm trying to make sure that my mother good. I'm the ghost of Wolf, ghost of RZA. Come with the facts you never considered, I'm the ghost of Sean. I speak for every artist never spoke their mind. Representing every artist that was left behind. From Craig Mack to G Dub. You know that it would get lonely. It's never safe if you owe me. You know that saying's true. You had a chance to do right now, understand you. You can't stop it. It came from wicked Canvu. Karma came and gave him us for what he did. And Kim Porter made the day he dies and rests in piss water.
Now, years later, this feud has become one of hip-hop's biggest cautionary tales. Mase represents every artist who signed a dream deal only to wake up in a nightmare. Diddy represents the system shiny, powerful, and untouchable on the surface, but built on silence and control underneath. And now that the silence is broken, the truth can't be buried again. What makes this story so powerful is that Mase isn't speaking from hate, he's speaking from healing. He said he had to forgive Diddy just to free himself from the anger. But that doesn't mean he's letting him off the hook. Forgiveness doesn't erase accountability. Mase said, "I just decided to speak now because I'm done watching people get hurt like I did." That's why he's using his platform differently. Instead of chasing chart hits, Mase is building his own space speaking truth, mentoring younger artists and exposing the games the industry plays. He said the new generation needs to understand the business before they chase fame. And when he talks, People listen because he's lived every chapter. The fame, the fall, and the freedom. Meanwhile, Diddy's empire has been taking hits left and right lawsuits. Leaked footage, old stories resurfacing. It's like karma is finally catching up. Fans are connecting the dots, saying Mase's words were a prophecy. Every time something new drops about Diddy, people pull up Mase's old quotes and say, he warned us. Even now, Mase says he doesn't wish Diddy harm. He just wants the truth to shine. I don't need his apology. I just need him to stop pretending that one statement sums up their entire story. It's not about money anymore. It's about morals. In the end, Mase's legacy isn't just about music. It's about standing up to a system that tried to silence him. He turned his pain into purpose and his testimony into truth. That's why fans call him the Harlem Preacher with platinum truth. He went from bad boy's brightest star to hip-hop's loudest conscience. And that transformation might be the most powerful part of all. So yeah, Mase finally revealed the real reason behind his beef with Diddy. It wasn't jealousy. It wasn't ego. It was betrayal wrapped in business of brotherhood that turned into bondage. And after 20 years, Mase is finally free. Not because Diddy let him go, but because he learned to walk away for good. And now that the truth is out, Diddy might never look the same again. Because once the preacher starts preaching, even the empire starts shaking. The drama isn't slowing down, and neither are we. Stay tapped in with Celeb Pulse for the truth behind every headline. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know whose side you're on.